Hello, everyone, and welcome to our monthly MBH board chat with me, your host, Lisa Maynard-Atem. I'm delighted to welcome a familiar face back to the board chat. Callum, nice to see you. Long time no chat. How's it going?
It's good. I've missed our monthly chats. It's lovely to see you.
Likewise. So I thought today we could talk about the MBH Club. This is something obviously that we've been in conversations about for quite some time, and it's now launched and it's doing really, really well. So I thought we could chat about that today. So to kick things off for the members of our community who may not be aware of the MBH Club, can you tell us what the MBH Club is and what originally inspired the idea?
Yeah, so look, I think we've always tried to be one of the most transparent companies that investors own. We've always been very accessible, and we've always been looking for ways that we can increase that accessibility to it's very difficult when you're an investor trying to get your head around what you're actually investing in. So we're very conscious of that. We've always tried to find the quarterly webinars and in-person events and all those things. And we've had this idea about kind of creating a bit of a community for our investors where they could come in, and we weren't really sure of the format. And then at the same time, over the last few years, we've had a lot of the team or the employees of the companies that have wanted to invest in MBH, so they've wanted to buy stock. But for many of them, it's been the first time they've ever bought stock. I think a little bit like you, when you joined the board, you had to go and open an account, and there was kind of steep learning curve. And I think like with yourself, it triggered an interest in a broader understanding about investing and wanting to know more. So we have been looking at for quite a while, how do we create more content for our employees on what are the things you look for when you're investing. And then we're also kind of conscious that we've got this incredible pool of talent amongst the principals that, they've got so much knowledge and wisdom that comes from, probably got 200 years of combined entrepreneurial experience there. So basically, we've created this community, this forum, where we cover off basically the intersection of entrepreneurship and small business and investing. And it's not just about investing in MBH, it's everything from angel investing to private company investing. And yeah, we've got a lot of people joining. It's completely free to join. People can just come in and ask questions. And there's been some great discussions going on. So, and it's got videos and articles, and yeah, it's really a great place to hang out.
Yeah, it is great. You've touched on this briefly already, but just for, like I say, members of our community who might not be aware of it, who is the MBH Club aimed at, and what do people gain by being a part of the community?
Yeah, so it's basically aimed at anyone that's interested in entrepreneurship and investing. You don't need to be an MBH investor or employee, but there are lots of MBH investors and employees in the group. And all you need to do is just go to mbhclub.uk and sign in, and then you can browse the content, ask questions, say hello. And one of the team or one of the other people in the forum will answer it. So yeah, it's just a great little community. So yeah, open to anyone that's interested.
Fantastic. So from the forum, which obviously I'm a part of, and from the webinars I've attended, the MBH Club appears to be building quite a following. What has been the response like so far? Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like it's had an incredible response. There's a lot of interest in the community.
Yeah, look, I think there is a huge amount of interest in both entrepreneurship and investing, and people are looking for trusted resources and places where they can ask questions and get good answers. And I think there's a lot of knowledge out there, almost too much. It's kind of a little bit overwhelming. You don't know where to look, and investing itself is such a broad topic, and entrepreneurship itself is such a broad topic, that just having somewhere where you can go and ask questions that's kind of a friendly environment, I think has resonated with a lot of people. And so, yeah, like you said, we sort of promote it. We do webinars every month just to talk about it, and that brings a lot of people in. And I think kind of word of mouth is now adding to other people. So yeah, look, and from an MBH investor standpoint, this is a new soft way that we perhaps introduce people to MBH for the first time. And if they like what we're doing, they might introduce us to companies that they think would be a good fit, or hopefully they end up owning the stock. But it's a soft sell rather than sort of going out and trying to ram it down people's throats.
Yeah, and that actually leads nicely into my next question, because I've noticed that there seems to be an increased appetite for knowledge that relates to entrepreneurship and investing. Why do you think that is?
So look, whenever the economy has a bit of a downturn and companies start laying people off, you inevitably get an uptick in interest in starting your own thing. And oftentimes employees are frustrated and they think it would be a nice thing to do, but they don't want to leave the safety of their business. So when there is a downturn, then they want to start businesses. And the first thing you need to do is try and find answers to the many questions that you have. And I think it's really useful to speak to people that have been through sort of a number of cycles. There's social media is full of sort of people touting the grind culture and you should be making $1 million on software as a service every month and all that sort of stuff. But it's not very realistic for the average person. So I think being able to go into an environment and hear from somebody that's built up a construction company over 20 years, or somebody that's built a great education business like Vicky or whatever. So I think it's much more real and down to earth advice, and I think that in this day and age that's quite useful, because our principals, they're not trying to wow anyone on TikTok. They're pretty down to earth and straightforward with their advice. So I think people appreciate that.
Yeah, no, it is interesting. So in terms of the future of the MBH Club, do you have any ideas or plans on how you're going to develop it? Anything that you can share with us? I know I've been speaking to a few people about some new interesting avenues in terms of content, but yeah, what are your thoughts in terms of how you see it evolving in the future?
Yeah, look, I think if you purely look at it through the lens of MBH and MBH investors, the bigger that community is, the more successful MBH is going to be. And the way you build that community is by adding more and more value, so that people keep talking about it and invite their friends. And so, look, I think there's a huge appetite for the content, and there's a huge amount of content that we can keep delivering. And I think once you get that community sort of up to a certain size, you can start looking at doing live events. You can, there's a whole bunch of things that you can run off the back of it. So yeah, look, it's just I think it will soon sort of take on a bit of a life of its own, but hopefully always be a very net positive thing for MBH and the investors.
Yeah, well, I think it's really, really exciting. I can't wait to see how it evolves. And again, you have touched on this already, but just to remind people, for anybody who isn't aware of the MBH Club, how can they become involved if they're interested, or how can they join?
Yeah, so click the link below. I'm sure someone will put a link below. Someone click the link. Look, super simple. Click the link, put your name in, and go and browse around and say hello. Say hello in the forum and ask your questions, investing or more business with someone will answer them, sure.
Well, thank you very much, Callum. It's been nice to have a catch up. Like I say, we've not had a chat for a while. So thank you very much for joining me today. And thank you to everyone who's watched us. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and obviously join the MBH Club. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Find out more today at mbhcorporation.com.